Hello friends, I am Sau Shinde from RBNB College. We are going to start the point simple permanent tissues. This permanent tissue already discussed this parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. These are the simple permanent tissue. It is found in the plant body. And another one tissues like the complex permanent tissues. These permanent tissues like the xylem and phloem. These two important permanent tissue. It is a complex permanent tissue is found in the plants. And most important function of these two tissues, the first one is a xylem. It is a water conducting tissue. They can provide the water through all part of the plant body. And now the second important tissue, it is called the phloem. It is a complex permanent tissue is a phloem, and this phloem is most important for it is a conducting tissue, and this conducting tissue is most important function for the conduction of food material from all part of the plant body. The first we will discuss the phloem. This first tissue, phloem. Now this phloem tissue, it is a another important tissue, and this tissue is a living tissue, and this tissue is called the bast. Now this phloem, it is also called as a bast tissue, or it can having the bast cells. Now this phloem, it is a most important for conduction of organic food material. They can conduct the organic food material from the source to sinks. This conduction of food material from source to sinks. Source means which is a source. Source means it is a food material is synthesized in the part of the leaves. This plant is a leaf is most important part because having the chlorophyll containing pigments, and they can produce the food. And this part means source. Leaf is a source, and sinks means this food material is transport or provide to the different part of the plant body. Means this phloem is most important for the conducting the food material from source to sinks. Means they can food material is captured from the leaves, and this food material is transported to the all plant body. And this is the main function of this phloem tissue. Now this phloem tissue, they internally inside this plant showing the different types of the cells. I mean, this simple permanent tissue is a similar type of the cells, but in the complex permanent tissues having different types of the cells. There are some this phloem, it is composed by the sieve cells, sieve tubes, also companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. These are the different types of the cells are found in this phloem tissue. Now the structure of this phloem, means this phloem, it is another term of this phloem is called the liptome. This Haberland scientists study this term. The phloem is another name of this phloem. It is called the liptome. Now this liptome is present the different type of the cells. Now this liptome is considered and present the sieve tubes, and these sieve tubes, this is a sieve tubes, sieve plates, companion cells and ground tissues are found in this phloem. This phloem is made up of, or it is a composed of the different type of the cell. Now the structure of the phloem, we will discuss the structure of the phloem tissue in the plant body. Now this phloem, tiers of the phloem showing this structure, and ellus of the phloem showing this type of the structure of plant body. And this first one, these are the different type of the cells of phloems. These are the different cells. The first one cell is the sieve tubes. These sieve tubes, this is the structure of these sieve tubes in the tiers showing these sieve tubes, and in the ellus they can showing this ellus of phloem showing the sieve tubes. These sieve tubes, it is a important living cells. It is a living cells, and these cells, it is connected to the companion cells. These sieve cells or these sieve tubes, they are present in here, and it is one of the type of the cells of phloems. And these cells, it is mostly the living cells, and they can connected to companion cells. They are present in the the other cells like the companion cells. Now these sieve tubes is found in the lower plants. These lower plants like the pteridophytic plants and some gymnospermic plant. These sieve tubes are found. The sieve tubes are generally present in the lower plants like the pteridophytes and the gymnosperm. The inside, the structure of these sieve tubes. These sieve tubes, it is present the living type of the cell, and inside of the sieve tubes, the nucleus is not seen in the maturity. They can not take place inside of the sieve tubes. Now the next one type of the cell, it is a companion cells. The second type of the cell is found in the phloem, is a companion cells. These companion cells, location of this companion cell in the this phloem, these cells, they are narrow cells. These companion cells are narrow cells. They are elongated, living, and inside of these cells are found the dense cytoplasm and distinct nucleus is present. This is a distinct nucleus is found in the companion cells. This is a second type of the cells of phloems. This companion cell, it is a smaller cells, narrow cells and elongated structure in LS, and they can showing the prominent cytoplasm or this dense content of the cytoplasm in these cells, and nucleus is a distinct in these companion cells, and prominent nucleus is found in the companion cells. This is the second type of the cells of the phloems. And third type, it is a phloem parenchyma. This is the third type of the cells, it is a phloem parenchyma. These parenchyma cells, these are the some parenchyma cells is found in the location of a lateral side of these sieve plates, or it is a sieve tubes, and these phloem cells are found this phloem parenchyma. Now this phloem parenchyma is the most important tissue, and this tissue is the most important function for storage of food material, also storage of resins, storage of the latex, and mucilage storage. Means this parenchyma is most important function for storing the food material in the plant body. And now the next type of the tissue, it is the phloem fibers. There are four different types of the cells like the phloem's fibers. These phloem fibers is present in the this plant body, and it is another type of the dead tissue. And this tissue, it is a sclerenchymatous tissue, because these cells after maturity, these cells become dead, and this sclerenchyma, it is a hard structure, hard base, and now the most important for the lignin deposition. These cells deposition is takes place, means the lignin are deposited in their phloem fibers, and now this phloem fiber is called the dead tissue. And this phloem fiber is the most important for making the ropes and also the rough cloths, making use of these fibers. Now these are the four different type of the cells are found in the phloem tissues. In this phloem, it is a complex permanent tissue. Already discussed this hyaline tissue and this water conducting tissue. Phloem is a food conducting tissue, and this phloem is a living tissue. It is called also bast, and this tissue is most important for conducting the food, organic food material from different part of the plant body. And this phloem, it is also known as liptome. Study the term Haberland, study this phloem is called the liptome. And there are the different type of the cells. In the sieve tubes, sieve cells, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers, these are the different type of the cells are found in this conducting tissue. It is a structure of this conducting tissue, and most important function for conduction of the food material in the all part of the plant body.